Well. Welcome back to another episode of Pop Apologist. I'm Chandler. Lauren, introduce yourself.
I am Lauren, your sister. I'm so glad to be back on this gorgeous program. A lot to get into. There's been so much pop culture news, truly, that has broke over the weekend, and we must report to our listeners. How have you been? What's going on with you?
We must report to our listeners. That's our duty, our God-given duty. Is that what it is? I've been well. I'm home. I've just been, nesting a little bit. I started a new knitting project, and I'm going to end my boring personal updates there because that's really the extent of it. What about you? How have you been?
Okay, well, I thought I saw you tell Paola that you had something funny to tell me on the podcast. Is that inaccurate? Did I get my hopes up? Did I dream that?
It might have to do with something a listener sent us. It might not be something, necessarily about me. Because I do have something crazy to show you that a listener submitted. Do you know what I'm talking about already?
Okay, I think I do. Is it the Christmas card?
Booking.com offers a wide array of hotels and vacation rentals across the U.S. so you can find exactly what you're booking for. There's something for everyone, even those who are impossible to please. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. The Christmas card drama.
Oh my gosh. You guys, this is some real tea. So a Christmas card got sent out in Charleston, South Carolina, that has gone a little viral on Reddit. I saw this in the DMs as well, and I was absolutely floored.
And this is when I think to myself, I'm just so glad that the pop apostles are spread out, across land and sea, because they are bringing us just like the best stories from everywhere, from far and wide. Like, we're not going to miss a single thing. And yes, we're going to share it with everybody because it's fine. It's not like we're using first and last names. And, honestly, the purpose of this card was to spread the good word about, some actions of a certain man.
Absolutely. There was someone who felt like they were silent and they did not want to be silenced anymore. For that reason, we will share this Christmas card. And I just want to echo your sentiments, Chandler, that I am so grateful we have Pop Apostles with boots on the ground in all corners of the earth.
All corners. So I'm just going to describe the front of this card and then we'll get into what it says on the back. The front shows a darling mom and her two darling children standing, just a cute family pic. But there is no father figure in the card. And so now I'll go ahead and read the back. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So it begins. What a year. After discovering in 2023 that Ben had been paying for sex since the beginning of their 6-year marriage, throughout 2 IVF pregnancies.
Wait, stop. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, stop. I just think we need to set the stage for everyone really quick. This card was sent out, it seems, from this person's mother. So the mother, like the grandmother, sent this out, and this is a photo of her daughter who looks like she's in her mid-30s, maybe late 30s, with 2 children, very, very cute mom and kids. And then what's most hilarious about this is it's just a very kind of standard, normie, minted Christmas card. So it's just printed on the back by Minted with like the background is black and white stripes. So it's like one of their traditional Christmas prints. And what would otherwise be like, Johnny started a new soccer team this year, and I don't know, Lydia's learning the flute. We actually have a different kind of update. So Chandler, please repeat.
Yeah, I'm going to start it over because I think it's perfection. Yeah, this is everything I've ever wanted. So once again,
finally an interesting Christmas card.
Finally. So it begins. What a year. After discovering in 2023 that Ben had been paying for sex since the beginning of their 6-year marriage, throughout 2 IVF pregnancies, the premature birth of their son, throughout COVID, the birth of their daughter, throughout Lisa's mother's stage 4 cancer diagnosis, spending close to $100,000 of their marital assets for sex in just 3 years, and nearly $15,000 in a single Miami weekend, go dogs, all while refusing to have sex with Lisa and blaming her, even on their honeymoon. Lisa is finally divorced. So that's the end of the first sentence.
Wow.
So it goes on. Wanting to avoid court for fear of exposing his double life within the Charleston community, Ben allowed Lisa and the kids to relocate to Virginia and played the victim among his friends and family, while washing his hands of any financial responsibility, with the exception of about $2,000 a month in child support and health insurance for the children through his work. All while living south of the street for $5,000 a month and maintaining a golf membership at the Country Club of Charleston. Every sentence, by the way, ends with an exclamation point. It's incredible. Through Ben's professional litigation experience, a lifelong sense of entitlement, his ability to correctly calculate that Lisa would not risk his offer to relocate by going to trial, and a family court system that protects men like Ben and expects next to nothing from dads, Ben was also able to stop paying for their school, dodge alimony, and take 60% of their house in the settlement. The same house Ben insisted on buying, which they had no business buying in the first place, which would have been sold in a distress sale had Lisa's parents not financed the majority of the renovation, to the tune of $600,000. Ben also insisted that Lisa sign a non-disclosure agreement preventing her from sharing any details of the marriage or divorce with his parents, his work, his friends, or his acquaintances, or disparaging Ben in any way. Lisa's attorney, their guardian ad litem, and their mediator all acknowledged that if a mom behaved like Ben in a marriage, she would likely never see her kids again. End scene.
And then we have minted. The logo, the minted logo, a community of independent designers, art by Bombury, minted.com. I mean, a truly stunning Christmas message. Wow. Justice for Lisa has been served. We thank Lisa's mother, who clearly after her stage 4 cancer diagnosis gives no fucks, and we love to see it.
Gives literally no fucks in the best way. She is charging forward, exposing this man. So basically, her mom sent out the card, to try to like sidestep the NDA, obviously. And apparently he's a well-known attorney in Charleston. His photo has even been removed from his law firm's website, but he's already been like doxxed and everything. I guess not doxxed because I don't know if we know his exact address, but people know who this guy is. And you know what? He deserves every bit of it.
Oh, he absolutely does. I just love that this guy thought he could live such a duplicitous life, like truly do something so egregious, be cheating on his wife who was going through fertility issues with sex workers, spending a ton of their financial assets to do so, and then also having her parents finance their lifestyle and then financially screw her in the divorce and think that he can just get away with that completely unscathed, like his reputation just still sterling. Good fucking luck, Ben. Okay, have fun at the country club. Good luck showing your face again. And you know what else I love, Chandler? Southern people, they love to spill the tea, and they do. They love this kind of stuff. And I feel like in the South, your reputation potentially matters more there than anywhere else in the country. And it feels like justice to know that his reputation is going to be destroyed in this way.
Absolutely. I think it's just the fact that he tried to financially screw her over. I mean, it's so dark that like, the bar is on the floor with divorce because it's like so many men cheat, whatever. But the fact that like he then decides, not only am I not going to, like give you everything you deserve after having my children and sticking by me, I'm going to now screw you over and make sure that you are, financially barely solvent or whatever, that you can barely have enough money to raise our kids. And I'm not going to pay for their school.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is a masterclass in justice, like you said. And I'm thrilled reading this. This is the best Christmas card. I didn't receive it, but this is the best Christmas card of the season for me.
Could not agree more. So justice for Lisa, we're rooting for you. And if anyone has any tea or updates on what's going on here and wants to, if any other boots are on the ground in the Charleston area, please, our DMs are open and you can reach us best via our personal DMs. Okay.
Correct. Wait, 2 quick things before we move on from this. It reminds me of Garcelle, because if everyone will remember, Garcelle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills sent out an email after she found out her husband had been cheating on her. I read that she sent it actually from his email to all of his friends and colleagues and everybody,
so wild.
Which is incredible. And then the other Bravo note here is that I guess you didn't watch Southern Charm.
I did, a little bit of it.
Okay, so like Naomi, Craig's ex-girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
I guess this guy, Ben, the lawyer, represented her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Charleston is just such a small town.
Yeah. Such a small town. Oof. Wow. Brutal. Absolutely
crazy.
Brutal. So crazy.
So yeah, beginning the episode with a little bit of sweet, sweet justice.
Mm-hmm.
What should we talk about next? Can we get into somewhere where I believe justice has yet to, be served? to be given?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually so excited to get into this next topic because I feel like you've really led. I don't know, you've been pouring the Kendall Jenner haterade and drinking it, by the gallon for a while. And I've been trying to have a Kendall Jenner neutral mind space. But you know what, Chandler? Those days are over. I am throwing down the gauntlet and I'm picking a side.
Thank God. Okay, because I have stood out here all by myself on anti-Kendall Jenner Island for so long. And I'm going to begin by saying, yes, there are things about her that I'm jealous of. Okay. I'm jealous of her like houses and all of her interior design. And she's obviously incredibly gorgeous and, looks incredible in a string bikini. But you know what? There are plenty of celebrities out there who I'm also jealous of who do not rub me the wrong way that Kendall Jenner does. And I just feel like this latest admission from her, this latest bit of news from her, I'm so glad it's sending you over the edge because it confirmed to me that she is kind of all the things that I hate.
Well, it's just like I've tried to be remotely self-aware about my instinctual reaction to her, which is negative. And I've always just been like, you're just jealous. So get over yourself. But then I realized that no, it's actually there's more to this story. Sure, there's some jealousy there, but there is also maybe someone who just straight up is not likable. And I think let's actually get to what happened. So Kendall sat down for a podcast interview in an episode of In Your Dreams with Owen Teal. And she talked about how she said that she has never had any plastic surgery on her face. So this is the quote. She said, there's a whole world on the internet that thinks I've had full facial reconstruction and whatever. I'm not here to convince anyone, but I'm just here to tell you the truth, which is that I've never had any plastic surgery on my face. Nothing. She did admit to 2 cosmetic treatments of baby Botox in her forehead and PRP, platelet-rich plasma, a procedure that uses a patient's own blood to rejuvenate skin. She stressed, though, that her enhancements end there. Of the Botox, she said, I didn't love it, and I don't love it, adding that she's considered going back but prefers the natural look. My eyebrows are so straight and low to my eyes that I actually really enjoy the movement that I have. What really fired Kendall up, however, was the cottage industry of medical professionals speculating about celebrity procedures on social media. So she says, I think it's actually really damaging what these doctors do online. I'll see videos of me and professional licensed doctors on Instagram or TikTok, and they're doing a breakdown of all the surgeries that I've had and all of the work I've had done. The model added that she's watched similar videos made about friends that have never had any of those things. It can affect young people in such an interesting way because then they see that and they're like, oh my God, that's what I have to do to look like that, Kendall continued. And then they go rush and do something silly, maybe at a young age. And I think it's really scary. So finally, she talked about the nose job speculation. And she said, I will say the nose job allegations I've gotten, I would believe them if it wasn't me. Like, I look at old photos of me and I'm like, wait, it does look like I've had a nose job. However, she has a different explanation for how her nose has seemed to have gotten thinner over the years. She said, I did Accutane for my acne, and there's a theory on TikTok that Accutane shrinks your nose. And you guys, I swear to God, it's true. I swear, has no one seen this theory? Go on TikTok and look it up. Okay. Wow. Where to begin with this fucking one?
Where to begin? Well, first of all, she says, I'm not here to convince anyone. You're exactly right, babe. You're not convincing anybody. Nice try. Let's get to the nose job eventually, but let's start with her saying that she's never done any plastic surgery to her face, which I guess kind of includes denial of the nose job.
Well, here's what I think. I think that if she had said, I've never had major work done at all, like my face basically is the face I've always had, I could be like, okay, in her head, what she's thinking is, I've never had like a facelift like Bella Hadid, allegedly. I've never had some of the crazy plastic surgery that some people do get in Hollywood. Like, she hasn't had the full Lindsay Lohan rejuvenation. I can maybe kind of rationalize that.
Yeah.
But I think where she tells on herself, and it basically says, I'm straight up lying to you, and she says, I've only had baby Botox. I'm sorry. No one's lips get bigger. They just don't. Like, lips don't get bigger as you get older. They reduce in volume. From 18 to 28, they reduce a little bit in volume. They don't get larger. And so I think it's like she's obviously had lip fillers. So that is just like, there's no denying that. So she's just telling on herself that she's lying.
It's like she considers Botox to be part of plastic surgery.
Yes, exactly.
She says, like, I've never had any plastic surgery. I guess I've had, like, baby Botox. Also, I saw this comment that's, like, so funny. It's like, girl, it's just Botox. It's not baby Botox. Like,
right. Oh, it's like, why do they have to say baby Botox?
I've only had the smallest needle possible for a beautiful face like mine.
I've only had a little sprinkle. Ugh, it's like they won't even cop to getting 30 units. Shut up.
I'm getting Father Time level Botox, okay? Like, I am getting the biggest syringe. It's just so annoying.
I'm not getting baby Botox. I'm getting, like, extra large, obese level Botox. Like, Botox for a whale, okay, is what I order from Allison.
Yes. And I think the fact that she says, well, I don't know if I'll do it again. I've done it a couple of times. Yet she looks perfect. It's not like she's just totally let the Botox completely dissolve. I guess I should say, like,
That's
expire or whatever. And like, it's like, I did this and I look perfect. I don't know if I'll do it again.
Not only is that all she'll cop to, but then it's like, but I didn't love it. To be honest, I actually love my face exactly the way God made it. Actually, I was like, bitch, what are you talking about? It is so obvious you've at least had a nose job and had your lips done, and most likely have also had your eyes done. So,
yes.
And that's like, those are things we can for sure see with our God-given eyes. So it's just, ugh.
I'll just say, I went on Accutane. Yes, it does shrink your oil glands. For example, I have like notoriously, oily hair. Like after 2 days, like I need to like use dry shampoo or wash my hair. And when I was on Accutane, I did not have to wash my hair like for 7 days. It was amazing. Literally, if I could take a pill to do that to my hair now, I would. Accutane does have like other effects besides just, helping to clear your acne, to completely reshape your nose and to make it grow in the right places and like sharpen in the right places and then shrink in the wrong places or in the right places as well. Like, girl, please don't act like we're this stupid. There's no way that taking Accutane reshaped her nose.
Not only that, but I could see her being like, the photos that you're seeing are from a bad angle. And from when I was young, and obviously I only post like my good angles. So I could see people thinking that I've had some work done. I could almost see that, but it's like, actually, we've seen you in high res video in both scenarios. So we see the full 360 view, and it's just very clear what has occurred here. It's like, just don't talk about it, like just straight up.
Yes.
Just shut up about it. If you don't want people to speculate and talk about it, you're just adding fuel to this fire.
It's the Bradley Cooper doubling down that just bugs me so much. And it really shows how little they think of everyone who is, like observing them as a celebrity. And it's straight from the Kardashian playbook. This is what they all do.
Yeah, I think the part about it that's the most annoying is that I think that what it communicates is, I want you to think that I am better than you. Like, I want you to just straight up know I was born better than you. And that is how I perceive myself. I want you to feel inferior, right? Because there's just no other communication if you're saying that, like, you were born naturally, like, perfect. That's the point of saying that, right?
And then it's wrapped up in this, like, altruistic, I just don't want young people to think I need to do all these things to my face. Like, I just don't want all these young people to know that they too can look like me if they have surgery.
The worst.
It really bothers me. I mean, I think like the lips alone are open and shut case to me. She didn't admit to any lip filler. If she had admitted to the lip filler, I think I would be like, okay, she's giving us something. But she is literally giving us nothing.
We obviously need to get off this because we could literally just rant about this till the end of our lives. Okay? Until our one foot is in the grave, we could just rant about this 2-minute segment Kendall just gave on a podcast. But I think, honestly, it's actually so great that she didn't cop to anything, because it just makes it more obvious that she's lying. Like, I'm so glad she didn't say, oh yeah, I had a bump shave down on my nose and I've had a little lip filler and that's all the plastic surgery I've had. Because then I would think, oh wow, like she really has barely had anything done, because I do consider both of those things to be so minor and so fine. So it's like almost nice that she is so clearly bullshitting us, because it makes me think she's had a ton more done.
The only thing I will say is that your face does change a lot to your early 20s to your late 20s. I mean, I think you could look at a photo of me when I was 15 and a photo now, and I could convince somebody else that I've had work done that I didn't. But I just also think if you look at Kylie, like Kylie has like a completely different face, basically. Mm-hmm. She looks amazing. She looks incredible. But I kind of don't believe that Kendall's the only person in that family who's just like not doing anything.
Oh, of
with
course.
Her career. And anyway, we can move on.
You guys, I am in Cape Town, South Africa right now, and I came here for a wedding. And I gotta say, I was expecting my jet lag to be so bad, but what has absolutely saved me is early bird CBD. So I brought a few of the travel packs with me, and I took half of an early bird gummy each night for the first 3 nights that we were here. I cannot tell you how easily I just was able to sleep completely through the night, wake up so refreshed. Early bird CBD gummies, they have just mastered the formula. It's 12.5 milligrams of CBD and 2.5 milligrams of THC. It just gives you the nicest, warmest, gooeyest feeling. You melt into your pillow, a meal tastes extra delicious, a show is just a little bit more funny. I cannot recommend these gummies enough, and also one bottle will last me so long. I find that it's such a good value, and if you just want to try them, you can get some travel packs. Use our code PA20 for 20% off. You will absolutely love early bird CBD gummies, especially if you have any travel coming up. There's no right time for better health. There's just now. I don't need complicated routines. I need something simple that actually fits into my real life. That's why AG1 has become my easiest, most impactful health habit. Sustainable wellness is about consistency, not perfection. AG1 simplifies nutrition by putting your multivitamin, pre and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants into one scoop. No juggling bottles, no overthinking. And it couldn't be easier. 20 seconds, one scoop, 8 ounces of water, you're done. Plus, the new next-gen formula has more vitamins and minerals than ever, clinically proven to fill common nutrient gaps. I love AG1. I actually love the taste. I love the ritual of it, and I do feel like I have better energy when I'm consistently taking it. AG1 has over 50,000 verified 5-star reviews and comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Go to drinkag1.com/apologist to get their best offer. For a limited time only, get a free AG1 duffel bag and free AG1 welcome kit with your first subscription order. Only while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/apologist. drinkag1.com/apologist. Let's talk about some other news, which is that Scooter Braun, everyone, is apparently very frustrated that disrespectful athletes are constantly sliding into Sydney Sweeney's DMs. So insiders claim Scooter Braun feels that the constantly sent messages from professional athletes to his girlfriend, Sydney Sweeney, are incredibly disrespectful, even though she allegedly ignores them and blocks the sender. So sources also claim that Scooter felt really upset and, quote, furious and disrespected last November when she met up with her ex, Jonathan Davino, in Los Angeles. And this is an interesting quote. So the source says, Sydney has always been fiercely independent. She values time alone, whether that's traveling by herself, going out with girlfriends, or just switching off. Scooter prefers togetherness, and he's still adjusting to that. I feel
Scooter, oh,
there's a lot here.
I just have to say, can we just have a moment of silence, because Scooter, he feels disrespected.
He's struggling.
Everyone just let that sink in for a minute.
It must be really surprising when you date the top hot, like the it girl, okay? And especially an it girl where her brand is having large breasts. It must just be a huge shock when there are men in her DMs, okay? That has got to be just really surprising and feel super disrespectful.
It's just like, who would do this? It's like, I can't believe we live in a world like this. I mean, I didn't know we live in this world.
Imagine then your large-breasted it girl A-list girlfriend also wants to travel by herself. Okay, by herself. A woman alone, unchaperoned. And she also wants to go out with girlfriends. I mean, the disrespect I would feel.
It's sick. It's sick. It's just like
she
the
needs to get her
world
priorities
is so straight. Yeah, everything's backwards. And Scooter just like values togetherness. Ever heard of it?
Okay, you know what this makes me think? It makes me think this relationship is headed, to Splitsville quickly. Because if I was Sydney Sweeney, the last thing I would want is anyone curtailing my freedom. Like, that girl has earned the ultimate amount of freedom. So the idea that some guy would be trying to like rain on my parade, I'm shocked she is with someone like this.
It's giving like controlling guy who needs to read your phone. Like, let me read your DMs.
Exactly.
Let me read your messages. I'm so insecure. I'm so afraid that you're talking to somebody else. I don't know if he leaked this story or, maybe it's just from somebody else, like somebody close to them. But I think it just reveals that I think if he's insecure enough to talk about the fact that like he's so disrespected by the athletes, like messaging her, I think it's a bad look to say publicly how much this bothers you. Sorry, I said it.
Absolutely. And it's clear that he feels she is very much out of his league and could peace out at any moment. And both of those things are true. So it's hard for me to imagine that this relationship goes the distance unless she straight up likes Chandler being with guys she feels are inferior to her. And maybe that's like for her, like that's her type. Like she kind of likes to go for a guy who she feels like she is like several levels above, because maybe that gives her a sense of security. I mean, Jonathan Davino was, I don't think, ever like in her echelon, if I can be so bold. So maybe this is like her a pattern. I don't know. But I can just say also, if I was Sydney Sweeney, I would not be with Scooter Braun. I would be with someone who was commensurate to me.
He's absolutely not cute enough, in my opinion. And he's also like, yeah, he's successful, but he doesn't, I don't know, he has no swagger to me personally. But, like they've only been together for a few months. So I guess this is just another great American love story that's going up in flames.
I like that I said I would be with someone who is commensurate with me. And you said he's obviously not cute enough. That's basically what I was trying to say. So yes, thank you. Thank you, Chandler, for telling it like it is. Okay, let's get into Brooklyn Beckham, because there is news here. And I actually really I always want your take, but I very much want your take on this, because I feel like you always have like a very good instinct for family dynamics. So I'm excited to get your take. Okay, so Brooklyn Beckham sent his parents, David and Victoria, a legal notice warning that they can now contact him only via lawyers. So the letter also instructs them not to tag him on social media. A breach of the legal letter was the reason why Brooklyn blocked his parents online after his mom, Victoria, liked a roast chicken video he shared. Victoria Beckham's positive response to his poultry recipe on Instagram then led to a fallout last month, with the youngest son, Cruz, 20, posting, "They woke up blocked. So did I," talking about his parents. The blocking apparently followed weeks of frustration from Brooklyn and his wife, Nicola, who believed their requests for private reconciliation were ignored. Nicola has also now blocked the Beckhams. Brooklyn's grandparents and wider family have not been blocked and regularly comment on his posts. A source said, "Truly, people do not know the full facts of this heartbreaking tale and think Brooklyn was just being truculent when he blocked his parents. The reality is that he issued them with a letter at the end of last summer asking for any correspondence to go via lawyers only and wanted to try and make amends privately, not publicly. He felt his parents ignored his wishes and kept mentioning him online instead of reaching out privately. For their part, David and Victoria have simply tried to let their beloved eldest son know the door is always open and that they still care. After this letter, they had no other physical means of reaching out to him. So what were they to do? They, of course, feel utterly bemused and devastated by this latest turn of events. There's no malice from their part, only concern. But it is clear if there is going to be any reconciliation, it will be away from prying eyes and must be done privately. That's all anyone wants, but alas, seems a long, long way off given they are only now communicating via lawyers." So I guess last month, Brooklyn took to Instagram to demonstrate his chicken and beer recipe, prompting a like from Victoria. Within 48 hours, he had blocked all of his immediate family.
The first thing I'm going to say is that he's still a budding, aspiring chef, and he could use all the likes he can get. So he really shouldn't be blocking people who are liking this video.
That's actually a great point. It's like David and Victoria interacting with his content, especially amidst this feud. All it does is drive traffic to his Instagram. Does he not want more followers?
Right. Like, buddy, it's like engagement bait.
Yes.
I mean, obviously this feud has been going on for so long. We've seen the, the Instagram stories from the other kids. We've reported on this before.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's pretty crazy that he literally says, like, you are not allowed to interact with me at all. You're not allowed to like anything, tag me in anything. You can only reach out to me through my lawyers. And, I just feel like, and perhaps I've said this before, the only thing that makes sense to me is maybe one of the siblings, maybe David or maybe Victoria said something terrible about Nicola, and they will not apologize for it. That's the only reason why you would be this intense. Actually, you wouldn't even be this intense. And I literally have no other alternate theory.
Well,
I just think that, like, it's not her fault, but I think that, like, she is at the center of this in some way.
So I feel like when it comes to this whole feud, I really do go back to her basically having to redo her wedding and her like having a huge fallout with her wedding planners where it seemed like she was totally the brat. But then also the moment where like Victoria kind of who was it? Anthony was like J-Lo's ex-husband, right?
Oh, Mark Anthony. Most beautiful woman in the room.
Yes, exactly. Went up and introduced the most beautiful woman in the room, Victoria Beckham. And that, did not make Nicola's night on her wedding night. I feel like there is the chance and probably the truth that Nicola and Brooklyn are spoiled brats. That doesn't also mean that Victoria Beckham didn't potentially plan to her wedding being a disaster. So I think that there is the potential, I guess, that Brooklyn and Nicola feel slighted by his parents. And then they also feel that they are kind of poking and prodding them on social media. And they don't want that. Like, they don't want to be interacted with at all in a public way because for them, that feels violating. It feels like it's inviting public attention and it's not communicating via private channels to have a reconciliation. And so I kind of understand where they would be coming from to say, no, like now you're blocked because you can't respect boundaries.
Yeah. I mean, people online also say, Brooklyn Beckham, he was the oldest kid. He saw a lot when he was growing up. He saw how much his dad like stepped out on his mom. And so, I don't think though that's not going to drive you, in my opinion, to then cut off your mom.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also very hard for me to believe that Brooklyn Beckham was in on David Beckham's philandering.
Right.
Which must have been relatively short-lived.
I don't know. I mean, actually, I don't know about that. But people were like, he's seen Victoria cry. I'm like, I don't know that would cause you to then literally cut off all communication with your mom. Did you see the story that's in here about like Nicola maybe pushing her nanny down the stairs?
I did see that.
It is alleged, but I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a news article that she was devastated by that rumor. I guess the nanny was her nanny, like all growing up. I guess again, when it comes to Nicola, it's like you go back to the behavior with the wedding planners and the way that family reacted. It's completely possible that these are just all terrible people behind the scenes. Like that is possible.
Yeah. And I think too, Brooklyn really hates like the press circle that's happening, like cycle that's happening with all these stories. I think he wants it to be completely out of the press. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Beckhams are like feeding the Sun, like with new reports to like gain sympathy about the situation and to pressure him.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. The quote given is, for their part, David and Victoria have simply tried to let their beloved eldest son know the door is always open, that they still care. If Brooklyn was feeding these news stories, it would be framing them in a negative way, and that frames them really positively. So clearly, so the source is clearly from Team David and Victoria. So I completely agree. And he probably feels like every time they tag him on something in social media, it adds fuel to the fire. To these stories.
Yes.
So.
He just wants to post his, roast chicken recipe. Can a guy live in peace? Yeah.
Literally. Can we talk about New York City winters and what they do to our skin? The second the temperature drops, everything feels so dry. This year, instead of suffering through it, I decided to actually get ahead of my winter skin. And that's why I support Dime. I love Dime because they make clean, effective skincare beauty, body care, and even viral TikTok fragrances without the harsh stuff I try to avoid. If hydration is your winter priority, start with their hyaluronic acid serum. It's lightweight, sinks in fast, and gives that plump, healthy base my skin is always begging for this time of year. Then layer the dewy day cream. It gives a soft, glowy finish without feeling greasy. And if you want a new signature scent for the new year, Seven Summers is a must. It went viral for a reason. It's warm, creamy, and always gets compliments. Plus, every Dime product is vegan, cruelty-free, and made with total transparency. So if your skin is begging for hydration, head to dimebeauty.com for 20% off with code podcast20. That's dimebeauty.com, or you can also find Dime on Amazon and at Ulta. Your winter skin will thank you. It's a new year, and reaching weight loss goals doesn't have to mean flipping your whole life upside down. If you've been overwhelmed and questioning what works, who to trust, what actually fits into real life, Weight Loss by Hers is designed to make it simpler. With so many options out there, it's hard to know what to trust or what will actually work. Through Hers, you're connected with a medical provider who determines if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your plan is personalized to support your goals, with options like oral medication kits or GLP-1 injectables. Hers goes beyond medication with ongoing care, dosage adjustments, lifestyle and nutrition tips, and 24/7 support. No hidden costs, no membership fees. And it's all 100% online with licensed providers who actually learn your story, so it's about steady progress, not another cycle of starting over. Feel like your best self again. Visit forhers.com/apologist to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's forhers.com/apologist, forhers.com/apologist. Weight Loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded drug products are not approved or evaluated for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for full details, important safety information, and restrictions. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased.
Lauren, did you catch some of the Golden Globes footage?
I watched some of the red carpet footage, and I also listened to and watched Nikki Glaser's opening monologue. So funny, so good.
She's incredible. I could listen to her host at every awards ceremony, like from now until the end of time. She does such a great job. Also, I didn't realize this, but I guess she tests out the monologue or like some of the jokes at like a little comedy show beforehand.
Oh, interesting.
So that was interesting. Yeah, just to like kind of make sure things land. But she had some shining moments where I loved when she called out Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, Leonardo DiCaprio is here for one man bun after another. What a career you've had. Countless iconic performances. You've worked with every great director. You've won 3 Golden Globes, an Oscar. And the most impressive thing is that you were able to accomplish all of that before your girlfriend turned 30. Like everyone laughs. Leo laughs. And then she says, Leo, I'm sorry I made that joke. It's cheap. I tried not to, but we don't know anything else about you, man. There's nothing else. Open up. She says she looked it up, and the most in-depth interview you've ever given was in Teen Beat magazine in 1991. And she looks at him and she goes, is your favorite food still pasta, and more pasta? I just thought it was a great turn on the Leo jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it also reveals something that is very true, which is that we don't know a lot about Leo. Like he really, besides the fact that he dates, women sub 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Leo is a little bit of a vault. I mean, I know that he collects dinosaur bones. So apparently he has like a large scale replica of a dinosaur in one of his homes, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, isn't that his nickname on Dumois, like Dino Bones?
Yes, exactly. Headphones, Dino Bones. And apparently he likes to wear headphones when he has relations with young women. And basically not even interact with them. That's like the Dumois rumor, is that he, it's like they go into a room, they sign some crazy NDA, and then he does his thing without even basically interacting with them much. A charming character.
If that's true, if any part of that is true, I really don't want to know more about him. I don't know. Are we going to discover that he's like a serial killer or something? Like that's alarming. That's an alarming fact. That's not a charming fact. Like I'll stick to the pasta facts.
I just think that like, for me, I think that there might not be much more to know about him, Like,
really?
I guess I just feel like if you're a person who just constantly wants to party and, date people who are so much younger than you, like that is your primary activity, outside of your work, you might just be a shallow person who there might not be a ton to even know about.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I would like to know who his gang is in Hollywood. Like, who are his buddies? Who does he vacation with, if anybody? Because I think that would be interesting.
He vacations with Jennifer Meyer's ex-husband, who I'm forgetting his name, but he has like a rat pack, it's called. He just has like a crew of like douchebag men who basically
Really?
Yes, all like hook up with really young girls, and they like are this like
just gross,
trashy crew of guys. Oh, what is his name? Let me look up Jennifer Meyer's ex-husband.
Okay. Jennifer Meyer, like the jewelry designer?
Mm-hmm. Tobey Maguire. Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Oh, the actor?
Yes.
Like from Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to like name some like a nobody. You know what, Tobey Maguire, if this is true about you, you deserve to just be called Jennifer Meyer's ex-husband. You don't deserve to be Tobey Maguire.
I hate to say it, but I'm just like honestly more interested in jewelry than I am any of Tobey Maguire's like body of work. So
that's fair. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Gross, Leo, gross Tobey. Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire were part of a close-knit group of friends in the 90s, and the media informally dubbed them the Pussy Posse, or more recently, the Wolf Pack. Yeah. So they referred to as the modern-day Rat Pack by publications like Page Six, or the Frat Pack. Tobey Maguire, Luke Hawes, Kevin Connolly, David Blaine, Ethan Suplee, and Vincent Loresco. I don't know who any of those people are.
David Blaine?
Mm-hmm.
You know who David Blaine is, don't you?
Let me see.
You gotta know who David Blaine is. David Blaine's like the Las Vegas magician.
I don't know who David Blaine is. No, I'm looking up his photo, and I don't think I've ever seen him before. Why?
I don't know why. I am like pretty tapped into like the Las Vegas magician scene.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, how did you know who that was?
I don't know. I just do. Like, he like holds his breath underwater. I'm pretty sure I saw like a stunt with him. Like, he's like pretty good. Yeah, like he was like chained underwater and he was holding his breath. I mean, like there's David Blaine, there's Chris Angel. Anyway, you have lived a different life than me, clearly. And that is ringing true.
Yeah.
Gross. That checks out to me that David Blaine would be a part of this cohort. I would like to talk about her joke about Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Wow. That was graphic.
It was graphic. It was funny. She said,
yeah,
I guess Michael B. Jordan plays like two characters. So she says, I can't believe it. We got two Michael B. Jordans. When I saw that, I was like, Nikki B. Jerkin, because that was awesome. And then she says, like,
so cute.
She's like, I'm sorry, I know your mom. And his mom like kind of like shakes her head. He is, to me, in the top 5 hottest men in Hollywood, in my opinion. He is so cute.
No, he's so cute. I loved how, in a way that we thought she was going to go in that direction with George Clooney. Like, we thought she was going to basically like ask if she could have sex with George Clooney or something when she was up there, because she did that with someone. I think it was Tom Brady at the roast. She like talked about how attracted to him she was. So she goes to George Clooney. She goes like, okay, there's one thing I would love to say to you, and this is probably going to be my only chance. And then she's like, my Nespresso maker is having some issues. Like, can you help me troubleshoot? Because I guess he does a lot of commercials for Nespresso, which was just so perfect because it really was,
so
you know,
good.
Going in such a different direction than we thought.
That's so funny.
Also, the Sean Penn moment where she says, Sean Penn, you're such a devoted humanitarian. You know, some actors, they're all talk, but Sean Penn will actually go to the places in the world that need help the most, and he will do cocaine there. Oh, epic.
She's perfect.
She also opened it up with saying, we have so many A-listers here, and by A-listers, I mean people on a list that has been heavily redacted. Best editing goes to the Justice Department. So funny. Did you notice that when she talked about the cast of White Lotus being there, that Walton Goggins was there with his wife, and Amy Lou was at their table just like one seat away from Walton?
No.
Yeah. I thought that was some tea.
So I listened to him on Smartless.
Okay.
And there were moments there where I was kind of taken with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has like a real charm to him. I mean, I think he's super cute. And honestly, actually, Kagan has gotten the comparison a few times. So I think he's
interesting,
a little bit my type. So I definitely would get the attraction. I'm very happy that whatever did happen, he is still with his wife and things seem to have chilled out.
He told this story about how he went on a like 7-day horseback riding trip with his son when his son to Mongolia because his him and his son, he and his son are really interested in like Genghis Khan and like that whole like part of the world and everything.
Cool.
And so they did like a 7-day, just literally them and like 2 guides, like sleeping under the stars every night. And I was quite taken with some of the stories he had about like being a father. And he basically talks about how his son sort of started to have like a little bit of a breakdown, like, you know, a day or 2 in. And because he's like, this is really hard, you know, like I miss home, I miss like the comforts or whatever. And he was like talking him through it. And then like he kind of felt like, okay, like I did a good job. And then like the very next day, he actually fell off the horse and broke his rib and had to just like push through. And then so basically he then started to have a moment himself where he was like, this is really fucking hard. He actually didn't even know that he had broken his rib, but obviously breaking a rib is super painful. Mm-hmm. And so I was more taken with his story. He seems also like, for a Hollywood guy, pretty soulful.
Yeah.
And anyway, I liked it.
That makes me want to listen. And I'm so happy that that's the story and that it like involves his son and an adventure they took together and a moment of weakness for himself and not just this like hero's journey of him like being like wild and sexy and like riding his motorcycle through Africa and like studying Buddhism or something. Like that's a cool story and I want to listen to that episode.
Yeah, definitely listen. Okay, anything else from the Golden Globes? Actually, yes, I know there's more from the Golden Globes. We have to talk about Kylie and Timmy. Always.
Yes. Always.
The way I just love that those cameramen are right there at the table. They've got a camera on them at all times. And I'm just eating up that footage. I can't get enough of them kissing, talking, the lip reading, everything.
I feel like when I see him kissing her, what I hear in my head is like that Nat Geo voice. And it's like the alpha female and the alpha male together. He is, you know, trying to, I don't know, he's making his advances on the fellow alpha female in the field. Anyway, they're so cute together. I loved seeing him like going for a bunch of kisses and being so clearly enraptured with her.
I know.
Also, I think that Kylie, someone wrote this in the comments, and I think it's so true. She is clearly such a sweet mom, such a loving mother. And kind of such like a relatively grounded person at this point. I mean, the fact that she's like barely on the Kardashians. Did you see last season?
No, I didn't watch it closely.
Okay, so I watched all of the Kardashians last season. She's basically not in it anymore. Like, It's very clear she's made her money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just think that there is something like very rooted in Kylie Jenner.
Yeah.
And not like constantly striving for more. And I don't know. I think she's potentially one of the most likable of all of them.
Oh, completely agree with that. Completely agree.
News also is that it said on her name card, Kylie Jenner Chalamet. And so, Chalamet, excuse me. And so you see like her look at her name card and kind of laugh with him. And people were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. But I guess that was fake news. So they were laughing at something else. Which I did when I see that. I thought that would be absolutely wild. Like that would be so unprofessional if the Golden Globes had done that.
They like take the liberty of hyphenating her name for her with her boyfriend.
That would just be so unprofessional to be like playing into the tabloid gossip of it all. Yeah, right? Like when it's supposed to be an event that's celebrating him as an actor. I will say I was kind of disappointed that Nikki Glaser did not say anything about Kylie. Because that would have been like really funny to watch, given that I do think that is kind of at the tip of people's tongues when it comes to him at a awards show right now. It's not about him like being not that muscular. Yeah. Did you hear her joke about him? That he basically, it's like the only time someone has had to gain weight to play a ping pong player, which is like, it's funny enough, but it's, I don't know. I would have loved to have heard some Kylie Jenner.
She played it safer with Timmy.
Yeah, for sure.
I just have to tell you that when I was home last week, I did see my journals in the closet and I did decide to kind of peek through them. And I did find my journal entry after I saw Call Me By Your Name.
Oh gosh. What does it say?
I do not have it here to read. I just want you to know that I started to read the first couple sentences and I was like, I can't do this.
Were you into Timmy in that movie?
Yes. The movie just made me feel so many things. The ending, like, speech like from his dad to him, like I wrote about that, just literally fucking kill me rereading that all these years later.
I don't know how anyone could walk out of that movie thinking about anything but Armie Hammer. Like, the idea you could walk out of that movie thinking about Timothée Chalamet is so mind-boggling to me when Armie Hammer is, like, so delicious in that film.
I guess, to be fair, I was not like wildly attracted to Timothy. I was definitely more attracted to Armie Hammer after watching it, but I didn't write about, Armie Hammer's golden calves.
Right.
In my journal, I wrote about, it's better to love than to not, because one day, like you won't be able to feel anything, just like that. I mean, you remember that ending speech from his dad, right?
I don't actually off the top of my head, but I don't think I need to go back. I don't think I need to revisit. And I think I'm potentially fine with the fact that you don't have your journal entry to directly read from. I think I've heard enough.
Well, it's funny because, well, first of all, I'll just send you my journal entry so you don't have to rewatch the scene. You can just kind of get the cliff notes.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
And the thoughts and the takeaways. But I did have a thought while I was like thumbing through them. I was like, wait, this could be funny if I were to like read some of them on like, for global elites. And then I just very quickly thereafter was like, wow, that is like really desperate. Like you would have to be really, really desperate for good content, which maybe I am, to be reading your journals. I'm like, we're not there yet. We're not there yet where I need to be like reading.
That is how you will know that we have financially hit the skids. When we were like 24 hours only, we're reading from our journals. We're reading from our journals from this week, actually, not from childhood.
Somebody start the GoFundMe. Somebody like, we're in foreclosure, chapter 11.
Oh my gosh. We will 100% be on the brink if that ever happens.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Anything else, Chandler, before we go on to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
No, let's get into Beverly Hills because I thought this was a great episode. Plenty of things that I want to talk to you about here.
Such a good episode. I mean, where do we even begin?
Well, let's begin with Jennifer at Sutton's house. Okay? And because so Jennifer goes over to Sutton's house where they have a little, tea and crumpets. Sutton's not drinking. Jennifer's kind of sad because she was kind of expecting a little afternoon cocktail, but whatever. And Sutton tells Jennifer that she feels like her and Dorit are kind of making some progress and like she's ready to maybe become friends with Dorit. And Jennifer is just being a really like nice, supportive friend in her cute, like kind of high-pitched, nasally voice. She's like, well, yeah, like, you don't just say to her, like, I want to be your friend. And the minute she says that, Sutton just totally freezes. And she goes, don't mock me, Jennifer.
Wait, no, okay. First of all, your Jennifer Tilly impression is really good. Second of all, she says you can't tell Dorit, like, okay, now we're friends. Like, you have to kind of, more gently become her friend, essentially. And you're right, Sutton freaks out. And she's like, don't mock me, Jennifer. Don't mock me. Okay, this is my favorite part of this.
You think you're having a fun, chill moment with your friend, and suddenly she's being fucking stern with you. She's like, don't mock me.
Not only that, but my favorite part is we have this like sanctimonious beginning. Maybe not sanctimonious, but Sutton introduces us to the fact that she's rethinking her relationship with alcohol. She might enjoy a glass of wine or a glass of champagne now or then, but really she's taken a big step back. And then proceeds to act like someone who has had a few too many drinks and is a little emotionally volatile. Like,
yes.
What?
She doesn't even need it. She doesn't even need the vodka cranberries that she so loves.
To get like so irrationally touchy and sensitive. Don't mock me. That was hilarious.
It was crazy. I felt really bad for Jennifer because I'm like, I think Jennifer's just like a nice friend who's just like happy to be like on the show bumbling along. And then all of a sudden she's getting like scolded by Sutton.
No, and I think that I feel bad for Sutton on some level though, because I feel like her saying I'm not drinking anymore, and then she brings everyone to Sedona, and she wants to have the storyline where she's going back to Sutton Brown, who's like so nice and fun and chill and relaxed. And it's very clear that in the next episode, Jennifer Tilly says in the promotion for the next episode, she says that like the problem with Sutton is she always makes it about Sutton. So there really isn't some like great growth and evolution. It seems like Sutton kind of continues to not be this like stable person that they can count on.
Right. I think you have a couple of those interactions with Sutton where she's, gets stern with you and you're like, it's like, I can't count on you to just be a fun time.
Exactly.
Because I don't really know what I'm going to get
version
from
I'm
you.
going to get. But one thing I will say though is I have to really commend her for being open about her insecurities, saying like, hey, I don't feel pretty enough. I don't feel cool enough. You know what? Not only is she open about that with the other women, but she's open about that on national television. And I think like if I'm Sutton and I know that I'm basically like giving all these vultures like one of the greatest weapons they can have, which is like knowing what I'm insecure about, and they can all like go after exactly those insecurities. Like I found that to be extremely brave.
I mean, to say that you're insecure about not being pretty enough, like while on national TV, is unbelievably hard to do and brave. And that you compare yourself to the other woman, you don't feel cool enough. It's not like, I'm too ambitious. Like, I'm too rich for these women.
My financial settlement it's too plush. I'm not relatable. Gosh, I do not have a good Sutton accent. Chandler, you do.
Yeah, you got to work on that.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This episode is brought to you by Booking.com. Planning a girls' trip always sounds fun until you remember you're booking for multiple people with very specific opinions. My sisters and I have non-negotiables. Blackout curtains so we can actually sleep, good natural light for all those photos, and ideally something close to a beach. And just go ahead and trust me, we're not very flexible about these things. That's why Booking.com is our go-to. Booking.com offers a wide array of hotels and vacation rentals across the US, so you can find exactly what you're booking for. Even if the people you're booking for are extremely picky like us. You can filter for the things that actually matter instead of settling for something that's just fine. Whether you're booking for yourself, your partner, or a high-maintenance group chat, Booking.com makes it easy to get it right. If a stay can check all of our boxes, it can check anyone's. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Before we get into everything that happens in Sedona or the start of the Sedona trip, I want to go back to when Kyle visits Dorit at her house. And they kind of have a conversation about the fact that, Dorit would like Mo to say something to PK and tell him to kind of get in line or to settle down. And Kyle kind of she does a slightly better job of being more of Dorit's friend, but she still kind of like dances on the edge of like defending PK. And Dorit says like, he's just totally cutthroat and he's out for blood. And she's like, well, that doesn't even sound like him. That doesn't even sound like him.
Yeah.
I just, once again, feel Dorit's frustration. And like, I guess Kyle just really wants to be as close to Switzerland as possible in this situation. She doesn't want to just be like a girl's girl who's just like loyal to her girlfriend, forever and ever, and will just totally throw down in the mud about her ex. But it's just like, it makes me think that potentially Kyle has heard some crazy stories about Dorit. I don't know, that she feels strongly about because she can't really get fully on board with Dorit's story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's obvious that Kyle and Dorit's friendship is hanging by a thread. And Kyle has a decent friendship with PK. So It's not surprising to me that she hasn't jumped on the PK hate train. That is obvious to me. And they're not that good of friends. And so you really can't expect on some level her to be doing anything but trying to be neutral to everyone, because this friendship has it's in a terrible place compared to where it used to be.
Yeah.
But I am Team Dorit overall, and I do think that it's so dumb to say, well, he's never been like that with me. It's like, yeah, no shit. You're not his ex-wife, okay? So
yes,
just, like, let's believe her when she describes what's going on. I do really want to talk about Rachel Zoe, if we can.
Yeah, please.
Rachel Zoe could not have been more surprising to me.
Same. Oh my gosh.
Talked about this.
I literally have a very similar thing written. Please say what you're going to say, and then I can't wait to respond.
I just feel like I did not think I would like her. Like, I feel like because of just her like image, I have felt like she would just be like a bitch, if I'm being completely honest.
Yes.
I've never followed her on Instagram. It's literally just of like seeing Rachel Zoe in my periphery, okay, in pop culture. I just have thought like, wow, she's like some skinny blonde bitch, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so it has been so shocking to see what a lovely woman this person is. She is such a wonderful mother. Her relationship with her kids really shines. Also, I love that she is so confident in herself in a way where, like, they get on the plane and she describes
Oh,
like her
yes.
style in Sedona, and she says, you know, my style in Sedona is kind of more bohemian. And then she kind of goes on to describe the other women. And she says, and
Yep.
everyone else kind of went for a bohemian vibe as well, but they did it in their own way. And then she starts to positively describe, you know, all the other women's outfits that, like, some of them were kind of mediocre to me. There were some that were cool or whatever, but she really kind of went on to be like, and Erica was wearing this and it was so awesome. And Kyle had this like turquoise Birkin, and you know, Bo showed up and looked like a queen. And I think the fact that she doesn't feel like she needs to talk shit on other people to feel good about herself, I just find her to be so likable. I'm so charmed by her.
I could not agree more. Neither of us watched the Rachel Zoe project, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So I think we just had very little experience. And what I knew of her before, what I'd seen was just kind of like, you know, this fashionista. And I think I just kind of assume that if somebody is like in high fashion,
so they're going to be stuck up.
Yeah, if someone's in a top position in fashion, that they're going to be a total bitch no matter what. They're going to be like somebody out of The Devil Wears Prada. And I think it's so rare to get a housewife who is extremely fashionable, who loves fashion, who then doesn't use it as like a sword for the other women. Doesn't then say, well, because I'm the person in the group with the most fashion experience, I can now kind of comment and ridicule all the other women. Like I feel like kind of Jenna Lyons did.
Yes, 100%. I mean, that is a lot of times like what fashion is, right? It's knowing what is the cool thing to be wearing, what's chuggy and embarrassing, and you really are kind of like your style is good based on what you reject. And so that's such an easy path to make yourself above other people. And I just love that she doesn't participate in that at all.
Absolutely. Completely. Could not agree more. You and I are so aligned on this. And just going to double tap for a second on her as a mom, because I was also so charmed by it. I love the way she interacts with her sons. You can tell that they're very close to her, that she's, you know, that they're quite, you know, tight knit. And I thought it was hilarious when her son was on FaceTime and he talked about getting an e-bike. And she was like, I told you, if you get in another e-bike accident, you're going to have to get a new mom.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
Like, she's just funny. And I find her level of intensity with things to be the perfect amount. And I'm just very excited to like know more about her and see more of her like journey up close.
I love her aesthetic, I will say. Like, there's something about it that's just so over the top. Like, her sitting on the Missoni towels in the huge, like, bold caftan with her hair extensions down to her butt. Like, there's something about it that's so unapologetically loud. And like maybe a phase of life, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but like maybe in a phase of life that people would expect a little bit more of like a demure appearance. And I also find it to be like really fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love looking at her. I think she's really fun to look at. I love her. Okay, can we just say the moment when Kathy turns to her in the car and says, "Can I be honest with you that what you just did does not look good? The under eye makeup."
Like there's nobody on TV like Kathy Hilton. And I can't get enough of it. It was so perfect.
That is a good friend.
Kathy is like, it's like a sister thing. Can I just be honest with you and tell you that what you just did does not look good after Rachel's always just applied more makeup to her face?
It is so funny. So perfect.
And Kathy is not doing it to have a camera moment. She's doing it because she's like,
to be like a homie.
Hey girl.
Okay. I do want to talk about Amanda, because
oh my gosh,
there's just much to say.
So much to say here. So much to say. So can we start at Kathy's lunch or dinner, which was kind of an odd grouping. It was Kathy, Jennifer, Sutton, and Amanda. Yeah. And in her interview, she gets asked, you know, do you ever feel kind of out of place, like a fish out of water with all these fancy ladies in Beverly Hills? And Amanda says, no, I feel like I belong in any room I want to be in. And let me just tell you, everybody, this is when my body started to tingle, because I was just like, thank God we have a new housewife who is just unapologetically Delulu. Like, I don't even want to say unapologetically herself. Maybe that's true, but she is just Like, I need someone who's high on their own supply. I need someone who is like Delulu, DeLuanne, Deceps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like so many times we get new housewives that are just like wanting to toe the line.
Mm-hmm.
And be
Yeah.
like maybe a Katie in Orange County.
Yeah, or like an Aaron or a
Yeah.
Saida Selva, where they're just like very conscious of their own image in like a way that's
Yes.
like they're self-aware in a good way, where it's like they would never say that. They would never
Correct.
want to come across as like so egotistical / insecure, which is what that sounds like to me. And with a lot of the way Amanda talks.
Yes.
But no, Amanda, she is clearly very much unaware of how she's perceived, which is very fun to watch.
Which is all we want. Let's like a
Mhm.
Ramona Singer or somebody who is just really like she's just a total like braggadocious lady.
Yeah, she clearly has a lot to prove. She feels like she has a lot to
Yes.
prove, clearly.
So she then later on, she talks about the fact that she bought Kyle's house. And something I wonder is like, is she kind of making digs at Kyle when she says, I just wanted to renovate the house and give it what it needed? I don't know. That's one thing that I was thinking about is like, is that a slight little dig at Kyle that she felt like she needed to completely redo the house?
I don't know about that, but what I do know is that her going on a rant, or not a rant, excuse me, but just like her kind of opining that the house that they're remodeling to sell, it's just feeling so good. The tennis courts are done and, maybe we won't sell it. Don't tell me more that you need the money by trying to say that you don't need the money from selling this house. Shut up. Shut up.
I've made some really beautiful decisions. What? Who talks like that? Who like imagine if I said that about like my apartment that we have like, we have been more thoughtfully designing. If I said, like at a dinner with friends, I've made some really beautiful decisions. What?
Also, it's like you're sitting at a table with a huge discrepancy of financial situations. So it's not like you're in Members Only Palm Beach, which actually, Chandler, is amazing and you should watch. I have 2
I
episodes
downloaded
in.
some of it.
It's very good. But you're not sitting at a place where it's like everyone's home was at least $30 million. So the price of admission to this club is actually not as expensive as others. So I guess the point is like, you don't need to like prove anything on some level. Like there's Dorit, who's in a very different position than Kathy and Sutton. There's Kyle, who's somewhere in the middle. Like just be where you are. You're also really young. You don't have to be like mega loaded. You don't have to be like like putting on so many airs. It's really off-putting. Anyone that has all that stuff, they're going to be a lot more low-key about it. Because guess what? People will eventually know. You don't have to tell them.
And money talks, wealth whispers.
Yeah.
To quote Dorinda, she then in Sedona says, I one time dropped $10,000 in one sitting on crystals.
On crystals.
Okay. All that says to me is, well, you're probably lying. And B, that's something really irresponsible, I think, to brag about.
Again, it doesn't come across like she thinks it's coming across. She thinks on some level people are impressed by this. But it actually just, it makes her look insecure. That she feels like she needs to say that.
Yeah.
So, and her having to like talk about how she has basically everything someone else has. Like, I think Kathy was talking about how like her right-hand person was right by her, helping her get ready or something. She's like, I have one of those.
So weird.
Like she always feels the need to interject and one up.
Yeah, it's very obvious. One last thing I want to say about Sedona, and then we can wrap this up. I was a little bummed about the hotel. Those rooms looked a little bleak.
Oh, you know what's funny is I actually wasn't paying attention to the rooms as much because I was so caught up in the details of her unpacking all of her bags or Kathy unpacking her pillows from home. Like that was so funny to me, and her being like this, and then Amanda saying, this is my black Chanel for my hiking outfit, and then I have another black Chanel for another hiking outfit. Like I found all of that to be so
dumb.
So ridiculous, but so I wasn't even paying attention to the rooms. The rooms were kind of whatever.
The exterior of the hotel looks really cool, and it's like,
it looks like a staffed villa to me. It doesn't look like a hotel.
Yeah, it does look like a villa from the exterior, but all the rooms just kind of look a little bit bare bones. They're not super luxurious feeling, and the furniture seems a little bit mismatched. Like there doesn't seem to be like one cohesive design style throughout. And I was just kind of sad for the women as they all got into their room and they're all like, look at how nice this is.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
It didn't even look like all of them had bathtubs. So
Ugh.
pretty bleak.
Honestly, it's got to be a harsh reality when you come off a private jet and meet, mismatched furniture, okay, and have to unpack your own pillows. Also, the private jet thing, it's always made such a big deal of, but it's like they probably flew 1 hour. Okay, it was such a short flight. It's like, can I get the private jet, footage from when they go to Europe? Then I'm really gonna be impressed. But these these very short little flights, and then the whole like private jet of it all, when it's very clear this was not a very expensive ride.
Right.
I guess like in comparison to what chartering a private jet would cost if you're actually going somewhere far, it's just kind of funny to me. It's just it kind of gives certain people who constantly post flying in a private jet, but they're flying from like LA to Palm Springs, or they're flying from Austin to, Cabo or something.
Let me just say, I might agree with Lauren, but I will accept any private jet ride.
And I'll post a photo in it for sure, because I've never been on one.
For sure.
I've actually never been on one. And so there will definitely be a story at least.
Amazing. What an amazing way to end the episode with that little, plea.
Let's at least be self-aware. Hey, can I ask a question from you?
Yeah.
Can you never say sure to me again? I have to say really quick.
Oh,
before we
sorry.
End this episode.
Yes. I didn't realize what I'd done this morning.
This morning I asked Jen, I was like, can we start 15 minutes after when we had planned? And she goes, sure. And I'm like, if it's annoying, we don't have to. I just feel like I need to say that as a species, we need to cancel the word sure. Because
I love sure.
It sends a chill down my spine when I get a sure from someone.
You know what sounds a chill down my spine?
What?
NP.
Oh, really?
No problem. I don't know. Like, it's just like, or you'll say like, I'm just trying to be a little bit less syrupy and more direct. And you just need to get used to it, buddy.
Oh, interesting. NP can seem
when
a
you
little
say,
short to you.
Do not contact me. It's a little short.
That is a little short. Chandler, you're right. That is a little short. I can see how that would come across a little short.
That's a real text Lauren sent to me at one point.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
I think I told that story recently, actually. Okay, everyone. Love you so much. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Friday with another episode for Global Elites. And have a wonderful rest of your week. Love you guys.
Bye.